You walk through the sliding doors of an emergency room into a crowded, anxious waiting area where the clock seems to freeze. Past the double doors, you often find medical staff stretched to their absolute limits, treating patients on gurneys pushed against hallway walls. It looks like an overwhelming influx of emergencies, but the actual bottleneck has a specific administrative name. This happens when a patient is officially admitted to the hospital, but they stay trapped in the emergency department because there is not a single available bed upstairs. These admitted patients require highly intensive one-on-one nursing care. While they wait for an upstairs bed, they consume the exact doctors, nurses, and physical space needed to treat the next wave of people walking through the front door. To measure this constraint, administrators look at functional bed capacity, or FBC. Having 500 physical beds on paper means nothing if 490 of them are occupied. Your functional capacity to intake new patients is only 10. This chart shows how much active capacity is eaten by inpatient boarders. Where functional bed capacity is low, orange border sections actively crush the blue emergency space. As those orange bars grow, leave without being seen spikes. Patients give up, leading directly to higher mortality. The emergency room does not overflow because too many people enter. It overflows because patients cannot exit. Solving the crisis at the front door requires engineering the flow of the entire hospital behind it. For many decades, hospitals operated as a fractured system of siloed wards. Each department, neurology, cardiology, surgery, acted as its own isolated island, managing its own localized list of beds. This created immense operational friction. Wards fought over the few remaining beds. Surgical schedules were planned completely blind to sudden emergency room surges, and patient discharges happened whenever a specific doctor finally got around to signing the paperwork. To break down those silos, leading healthcare systems are implementing a centralized solution, the Capacity Command Center. This physical space co-locates bed managers, nurses, and administrators into a single, unified room. It acts exactly like air traffic control. Instead of tracking planes, this central brain manages the supply and demand of hospital beds minute by minute. These centers use real-time data to monitor intake. If an emergency room influx hits, a hospital-wide surge grid is triggered to unlock upstairs overflow areas. Predictive analytics also forecast demand. If models show incoming trauma, the center reduces elective surgeries, keeping beds open. The most crucial mechanism is the back-end lever, discharge coordination. Bringing patients in is relatively simple. Getting them out efficiently is the real challenge. To solve this, hospitals embed case managers directly into the care teams. They use standardized pathways to identify which patients are closest to leaving, arranging their post-acute community care, physical therapy, or home support before the patient is even fully healed. This centralized oversight flips the hospital's operating logic. It is no longer a passive holding tank. It becomes an active pull system, where a highly coordinated exit door vacuums patients up and out of the emergency room. When hospitals execute systemic flow management, metrics move with unmatched speed. By streamlining discharge, one hospital saw average length of stay drop from 11.5 to 4.4 days. This cleared capacity, and emergency boarding time plummeted from 12 hours to just 1.2 hours. By preventing thousands of unnecessary inpatient days, hospitals clear up physical space while saving tens of millions of dollars in operational costs, capital that can be reinvested into better equipment and staffing. Operational efficiency is a direct clinical requirement. Every minute saved in a hallway upstairs translates into an open bed downstairs for a trauma arrival, keeping the intake valve functional for the entire city. Individual medical brilliance can only go as far as the system allows. A brilliant surgeon or a breakthrough drug is ineffective if the patient is stuck in a waiting room chair. The modern hospital functions as a vast, interconnected logistical ecosystem. Every gear must mesh in unison to keep the exit door open. Inventing a miraculous new medical treatment is only half the battle. The future of healthcare requires us to engineer the logistics of the system as brilliantly as we engineer the science of the cure.